Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melanie and I make videos about living in Copenhagen. Now, just a really fast update on the COVID situation here. Our current restrictions are still in place. Our cases are going down. School kids over 11 are still at home or in grade 5, but smaller shops are open, which is great, and that's great for the video that I'm going to make today. So let's move on from that. But in today's video, I wanted to talk about Easter traditions in Denmark and sort of Northern Europe as well. Before I moved to Copenhagen to Denmark, didn't really celebrate Easter beyond maybe having some Easter eggs and when I was younger seeing family at this time. But in Denmark, they really do enjoy Easter. It's a proper holiday here. Everybody gets, compared to the UK, get one more day off. We get the Thursday before Good Friday off here. And they like to decorate for Easter. And I think it's coming out of the sort of the darker period, you know, that enjoyment of that. So there's plenty that you can take inspiration from the Danes. Now, one of the things that I'll say first of all is actually decorating outside your house. When we first moved to Berlin, that Easter that we were there, we were amazed that the tree outside the church near where we lived in Pankow was just covered and covered and covered in tiny hanging colourful eggs. And the same, suddenly the bush outside, or the tree outside our apartment building just sprung up with these. Obviously someone in the building did it. And that was the first time I'd seen that. And that's something that we do now. So I'm just going to say a little bit of video of the eggs that I've got hanging outside our house here. But, you know, it was such a nice thing to do, and I was really pleased to take that forward. Now, the other things that you'll find a lot in the shops here are things that you can buy to do your own kind of like DIY Easter eggs and that sort of thing. So I'm going to show you a few of the things that I've got here that I've bought either this year or the previous year. Now, all of these come from either Craft Shop, Pandora Hobby, Tiger, Sostrena Gren, and even Netto and supermarkets. I mean, they all have a small display of this. So the first thing that I like to get are these little quail's eggs. So we've got those there. You can do all sorts of things with these. You can obviously hang them, or you can make little arrangements, or you can glue them places. I do lots of different things with those. So I've still got a box of those left over from a year or so ago. These I bought in Tiger. They are just little rabbits and eggs and different things with a string, and they're paint your own decorations. So you can get those for kids and sit and make either like a garland, I suppose you could do, or you could make decorations to hang. Now, one of the things you'll find here also in the supermarket, they sell a lot of twigs that either have blossom or have little catkins like pussy willows on them, and people will put those and then they'll hang little eggs from them inside. But I'll show you a little bit more of that kind of stuff in a little while. So there are those ones. The other thing, obviously you can do these yourself if you know how to blow an actual egg, but you can get hen's eggs that are already blown, so they're empty hen's eggs, and you can get those and you can paint them. I've got white ones, but I've also got the brown egg ones. So you can paint those, you can do all sorts of things, and that's what we've done in the past. We've decorated those, and they have a small hole in the top, so you can make a little hanger and hang them like that. But they're a great thing to do. I mean, I had a whole box of them from Netto, and it was 25 crowns for that box. I got that last year, but I think I'm almost certain that they have them this year as well. So there's some DIY, some inspiration that you can take for those hen's eggs. You can also get lots of feathers here around this time as well for decorating. So using a little bit of either watered down kids glue, or you can buy special like Mod Podge or something like that, then you can basically decoupage those onto these eggs. So if you're not really arty, you don't really want to do painting and you think that might not come out very well, you could do something like this. Or you can buy, there are lots of Easter napkins in the shops at the moment, so you could buy an Easter napkin and do proper decoupage. You could cut round like the rabbits on here, and then using the Mod Podge or the watered down glue or the decoupage glue, whatever you can get where you live, you can paste those on. So they look really, really pretty. I've done that before. And also dried flowers. If you've got some dried flowers, you can do the same. I made these at my my crafting group, but you know, there are different things you can do. This one here also is just with the napkins on it. So I really, really like that idea. It's easy depending on what you can do with your own kind of artistic levels or with your kids. There's many, many things you can do. So If you watch any of my Christmas DIY videos, you'll know how I like to customise pre-bought wreaths, whether they're natural ones or wooden ones like this. So this is a very, very quick glue-gunned wreath that I made to hang outside our door. I used some kind of silk flowers that I bought, I think, from the supermarket a long time ago. I've used these before in a wreath. Some little plastic hanging eggs. I took the hangers off of them, and you can see, I mean, I'm not doing like the Christmas one, the no fuss Christmas wreath. This is a no fuss Easter wreath. You can obviously get bigger with your decorations on it, or however you like, but I'm going fairly subtle. Now, I tried to add these chickens on, and I didn't really like how they went, so I decided to just glue them on. So there they are, they're glued on, and that is just a simple way of decorating it. And at the end of this short DIY bit, you'll see, there it is, it's finished and hanging up on the door outside. So that's the things you can decorate yourself. Now I'm going to show you some inexpensive decorations that you can buy, and also some of the slightly more expensive ones. Now let's grab these over. Again, in Tiger, they have these identical ones every single year. I probably bought these about 5 years ago. Little boxes of wooden, and now on the floor, wooden eggs there. Little painted wooden eggs. Now, you can obviously hang that on some twigs that you have. Again, you can make a garland. When my son was quite little, we used to, he'd have a little Easter hunt, and perhaps we'd hide these around the place and see if he could spot them. So that's another thing you can do. You can sort of conceal them around your house and make a mini Easter hunt in the house. And they also do little boxes of like little rabbits doing different things as well. These are all really inexpensive, and if you look after them and you keep the boxes, you can just put them away each year and get them out again, and they make a nice bright display. So they're really inexpensive. They're normally sort of, maybe 20, 25, 35 crowns, so not very much, and you can get them out year after year. But one thing which is beautiful and very popular here are Royal Copenhagen porcelain eggs. Now, these are normally, I think they're around 200 crowns. I'll put some links below so you can see what these are like. But each year they bring out some new designs, and they're always spring flowers. And I've been buying them on and off. How many have I got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6. So for 6 years I've bought one of these eggs, and I also send them to friends in England as well who really love them and often keep them up all year round. But you can see this one here. It's got crocuses on it. And they do 2 designs at the moment for each of the flowers that they do. So you'll get like a picture of the whole flower with some foliage, or the other choice you can have, and this is one I bought a year or so ago, you can actually have it so that you can see just the blossom on the egg as well. I've got a mixture of the 2. I think I actually prefer the ones that have got the whole flowers on. This year's one I bought was a quince. So it's all the little tiny blossoms of the quince. So that's really, really beautiful. And I like those, and they look very stylish. And I've got some twigs that we foraged in 2013, so a very, very long time ago. And I keep them in a vase. They've got some little fairy lights on them. So at Christmas, you put little Christmas decorations on it. At Easter, I put the Easter decorations on it. And if we do something in the autumn or Halloween, the same there as well. But one year I decided to treat myself, and I bought a George Jensen gold egg as well. So that's really beautiful. From a distance it just looks like it's a solid gold hollow sort of egg, but actually when you look closely at it, and I won't put it up to the camera because I don't think you'll be able to see it, but if you look closely at it, it's got little engravings of chicks on it. So that's really, really nice. So I put those ones up, and I also have a Karen Blixen Easter thing that you can hang sort of in your window, catches the light. I bought this the very, very first year that we lived here, and it looks like I spent a lot of money on it, which I find, it seems quite expensive to me, but I spent 350 crowns, so about 35 pounds on this. But again, it's gold. I get it out, well, it's not solid gold obviously, but it's golden, it's metal, and as you can see, the little bunnies in the middle kind of spin round. So if you hang that somewhere, it's going to catch the light, and it's also going to catch a sort of a breeze, and that's a beautiful thing. So we have those ones, and I've also, through the years, I've sort of collected different eggs. We went to Hamburg a few years back, and I got some in a shop there. So we've got, I went for sort of a yellowy theme, and again, these are really, really inexpensive, and I don't buy new ones each year. I just keep getting the same ones out because I think that's nice. I maybe supplement it with a new Royal Copenhagen one. But, you know, it's basically just sort of keeping the things that I get out most years going. Let's see what's in this box here. Yeah, the other thing you can find here is you can find these egg-shaped candles. So if you want to do Easter table, you can put those on. But I would say they're pretty cheap candles, so you do need to put them on some kind of base because they run and you end up with a big sort of blob of the melted wax. So they're something that are nice to get hold of. But you do need to take care of them. Now, something else which is really funny, I bought these the very first year that we lived here. Now, they're candles. They're a little chick coming out of his egg, or possibly looking like he's sitting in a bubble bath, but like that. And I think I got a box of 6, and I gave a couple to my mum, and I kept the rest myself. And both she and I were curious about how they would melt. So we did both light one of them, and let's put it this way, it's not very pretty because obviously it's his head that melts first. So I've still got those, and I kind of get them out and put them away again. I'm not going to burn these ones. I think they're really, really sweet, and they're not discolouring because they're not out very, very long. Oh, some of the other egg candles you can get, actually, when they start to melt down, they've got the whites on the outside of the wax, but they're yellow inside. So as they start melting down, they actually look like there's an egg yolk coming out. So they're all things that I've bought in the supermarkets through the years, or in the inexpensive shops, or, as I say, some treat ones. But you can get those, and the eggs I've hung up outside, normally they last a couple of years as well. But one tip, if you do hang them on a tree that doesn't have its leaves out just yet, as it is the case here, if you don't take them down quickly, all the leaves come out, and then it's virtually impossible to get them off. So last year ours ended up being on that bush all year, covered by the leaves, because I couldn't take them off. But there's some ideas that you can have, and I think at the moment, you know, we really do want to brighten up our homes. For those of us here in Denmark, you know, we've been in lockdown since before Christmas, and we're still in lockdown, and we're going to be in lockdown over Easter. So it's really nice that we can bring some of those traditions, pre-COVID traditions in, or even start them as new traditions, just to make us feel a bit jollier and a bit brighter. So that's the things that I've got. Oh, there was one last thing I wanted to show you. Sorry, I was just looking to see if I'd shown you everything. But this one I got in, you know my love of vintage shops. I got this in a shop that sold like little vintage toys. And I had one very, very similar to this when I was a little girl. Let's make sure he's working now. So here's the egg, and you can just about see the little chick bobbing around. But when you turn it on the side, he pops out. In, out. And I had something really similar to this when I was a little girl. And when I saw this in this sort of vintage toy shop, it's a toy shop that sells vintage and normal, like, you know, sort of new stuff. It's in Gamle Kongvej. It's called Preek. Again, I'll put a little link below so you can see the kind of things they have. But at Easter, they always have a really quirky Easter display. I got some, I don't think I've taken them out of the box to show you, but I got some other little bits and bobs in there, Easter decorations. So I've got some quirky things that go on the Easter tree. Also got a decoration that was created by a ceramicist that I know fairly well. She used to have her studio below where we lived in Frederiksberg, and I've got some bunnies and some things that she's made as well. Again, I'm going to put links to all of this down below so you can see, and if you do live here, you can pick up some of these things yourself. Hope you've enjoyed this video. It was just basically me showing you all my lovely Easter stuff, and I will insert some pictures just from previous years when I've decorated the Easter tree, because I don't think I'm going to decorate it before this video goes live. But until next time, hope you stay well and safe, and bye for now.